Hi folks, Sandro here with more cartoon news and shenanigans. And today, unfortunately, we're going to be talking about the brand new show, The Fairly OddParents Fairly Odder. If you guys are new to the channel or you don't watch cartoons or you've never heard of this show, basically, back in the day, there was a show called Fairly OddParents. It was a very good show. Up until Poof. This is Poof right here. And, I actually liked Poof as a character, but the season after Poof came to the show, that's when the show really started to decline. They saw the ratings of Poof and they were like, let's add in a dog, named Sparky. He's a magical fairy dog. Let's add in Chloe. Let's add in Foop. I also liked Foop, by the way. I think Foop was really good. But the idea was they kept adding all these characters. Meanwhile, the main characters that we grew up with, like Chester, AJ, even characters like Francis and Vicky, the main babysitter, literally started to. She didn't appear as much as she used to. Many of the main characters just sort of vanished, and they started to focus a lot on Timmy's dad and Crocker. So Fairly OddParents, great show until it started to focus on all these weird, wacky, one-off characters. Like Sparky literally lasted a whole season, and then he was gone. Then they even made anti-Sparky. He was like a British dog that was evil or something. I don't know. They lost their minds. Butch Hartman went off the deep end towards the end of Fairly OddParents. My God. So then we get, Fairly OddParents ended on a sour note. It ends with Chloe, this just awful character. And, basically there's a fairy shortage. Somehow, nobody knows how, there's a fairy shortage. And because there's a fairy shortage, Timmy Turner now must share his godparents with Chloe Carmichael. And season 10 is just a train wreck. And why do I bring this up? Why am I talking about this? Like Sparky and, Chloe? Because this show is a direct continuation. Yes, the cartoon, literally the show that is a cartoon called The Fairly OddParents. This show takes place right after the end of the original show. And it didn't even end that many years ago. It was only a couple years ago the show ended. It had 10 seasons, Fairly OddParents. So we're here now. We're continuing for no reason with a live action show. This should have been animated. Why was this not animated? They lost their minds. Nickelodeon just wanted to save money with this cheap garbage show. This needed to be animated. 100%. Everybody agrees. Not one person is going to come out of the woodworks and be like, no, we needed a live act. No, we needed another animated show, and it would have just been better. It really would have. A lot of the wishes in this show are just very cheap. They would. Vivian Turner, you see her on the couch here. We're going to talk about the main characters in a bit. You can see her here too. Vivian, for example, wishes to be taller in the first episode to try out a wish. So instead of showing her grow, they just kind of show her hunched. Oh, they do a camera trick where the camera is it makes it look like she's really tall. Because they adjusted the camera upwards. It's so cheap in some areas. Some areas they kind of they did pretty good on some of the wishes, but most 90% of the wishes felt really cheap. They cheaped out. Sometimes they actually, it feels like they put effort into them. They wish for the entire room to change, and you could tell that the people who are doing the set work, that's such a pain in the ass to have to change an entire room. So you're okay, I appreciate this one because somebody in the background had to work so hard to change an entire room just for this one stupid wish. You know what I mean? So some of the wishes really, they were done really well, and you could tell there was hard work put into them. Other wishes were just trash. But before we keep going here, I do want to talk about the poll that I had. And I asked people, I asked people 6 days ago. Okay, we had 48 people come on down. Is the new Fairly OddParents theme, or the new Fairly Odder This is the name of the show, but I told you guys the Fairly OddParents, Fairly Odder, which I stand by is a garbage name for a show. Is the theme song. The theme song is really cheesy. It's really bad. It's like right here. Hold on. Where did I put that theme song? The Fairly OddParents. Yeah. Here's the theme song. I wonder if I would get copyright claimed if we listen to this. I kind of just want to play it. Okay. I'll flip it around just so we don't get caught. Here, I'll just I'll put my face on the screen. No. Okay. Yeah. Actually, that's what I'll do. I'll put my face on the screen. Hold on. Bam. And then we'll just listen to it. Okay. I'm just doing this so we don't get copyright. That part's awful. Yeah, in real life. Yeah, they basically just took the Fairly OddParents theme. So if you like the old theme, like I like the old theme, I just don't. This is just feels awful. It feels like some kind of parody. You know, Weird Al Yankovic or whatever the heck, Yankovic, whatever the hell that guy's name. You know the guy, Weird Al, right? Weird Al. Old Weird Al, you know how he does parody videos? This just feels like some cheesy, like, back when I was a kid, I would watch, like, Newgrounds, this, like, Flash animation. This feels like some shit that would end up on, like, that website. Like, straight up. This feels like a joke, a parody. Like, what the hell is this? I can't believe it's real, but, unbelievable. I mean, this video came out on April Fool's. This is a cartoonish weeb here. That's a funny Timmy picture. I don't know where that's from. Maybe that's an original artwork. But this intro song might be just one of, if not the only good things in this reboot. So some people like it, but in my polling here, I'll show you guys what some people thought about this. We have 14 comments. Let's see what they got. Let's see what people say. Oh, this is the wrong poll. Hold on. Pulled it up wrong. Right here. Sorry. 16 people actually commented on this one. Let's see what people had to say. Okay, so is the theme song good or bad? The song isn't the issue, says Ice Cream Hero. Yeah, he's talking about how bad the actual show is. We're going to talk about that very soon. Jolly Dirk says worse than death. Again, remember, folks, 88% of 48 people that voted here did not like this theme song. Crazy John Ninja. Widow, what theme is okay, but not the... I don't know what the heck that means, but Crazy John, I mean, he has the word crazy in his name, so Crazy John gone wild. Moxie Demon says, it's bad, worst theme song I've ever heard. Johnny Marrero says, I've seen all 13 episodes and it's decent, and I've seen the finale and it's good, decent, and not everyone is going to like it. Again, I didn't like it, Johnny, but don't hate the crew working on this. I don't hate the crew working on it. I think they had a good idea. Their hearts were in the right place, but this needed to be animated. There's just, oh God. Oh my dear God. Don't hate the crew working. So I'm not hating on the crew. Their acting was very terrible, but I do have to bring up the acting because that was not great acting. It's not perfect, but don't hate the producers who did Danger Force. They are good producers, but it's decent. And let's not forget, it's for a new generation. This is true. Johnny brings up a good point. This is we're old school. Now, hold on a second, actually. Come to think of, how is this for a new generation when you kind of have, well, no, you don't need to really, you kind of don't need to watch the original Fairly OddParents, but this takes place, like, they make references to it. Like, at there's an episode where Vicky literally says, at one point, I remember turning into a snake, which is what happens in the Fairly Odd. Let's actually find that. Vicky turns into a snake. Vicky turns into a snake in this, I don't know which episode it was, but you guys get the idea, right? Like, this happened in the show, and the theme song also, she turned into a snake. And they did reference it, and they referenced other things that have happened too. You know, Jorgen is there. You would have no idea who Jorgen is if you didn't really watch the original. They do vaguely say like, oh, that's Jorgen von Strangle. He's kind of like the head fairy. They kind of like vaguely mention it, but you guys don't really like get the full gist of Jorgen's character. He only appears like 3 times, and no, it's just not great. It's not great. It starts off bad. Talking about it has a bad theme song, and it just starts off bad. Let's keep going here. Let me just make my face a little off screen. Michael Sally says, new song is bad. And Kevin McAllister coming in, who says it's simply dog shit. Oh my God, Kevin. Oh my dear God. And absolutely, I agree that it is dog shit. Let me give Johnny a heart here. I feel like he's the only one I didn't reply to. But yeah, people don't like the theme song. From the people that commented here, we do have some mixed opinions though. So Johnny said it was decent. I don't know, some people we got a good ratio here, right? We got like 6 people that seem to not like it, and then Johnny is kind of like the one outlier here, so it kind of gives representation to what's going on in this poll. And then after this occurred, I'm going to close this. We're going to go back to the poll. I then 6 days ago, so this poll was 12 days ago. Now, 6 days ago, I said, is the new Fairly Odder... Oh, sorry. 2 days ago, my bad. I don't know why I was on the wrong thing there. I asked this 2 days ago. 47 votes, which is pretty close to this one, which had 48 votes. Is the Fairly OddParents Fairly Odder show good or bad? 90. So we do have a stark contrast here where much more people say it's good here. Not much more people. Okay. Only 6%. So most people still really don't like this show because it's still an 81%. If you had 10 people, 2 of them would say it's good, while this many, 8 other people would say it's, dog shit, like Kevin said. Just utter dog shit. Again, I give it a 3 out of 10. We are going to get into it. It is a review here. I'm going to talk about it. Let's see the comments. I don't think I replied to the comments here. Maybe I did one of them. Okay. Moxie Demon says, Crocker in the finale in Fairy World Prison was the only good part. I agree. Oh, spoilers. Shit. Spoilers. I almost forgot to say spoilers. Super spoiler warning here. I'm going to be spoiling the entire show. Not everything, but like most of it. And, Wizmars here says, I agree with this 1,000,000%. They should have kept it animated. So Moxie says, literally the entire show was bad, except for the ending with Crocker, which I do agree. I did like the best parts of the show were Cosmo, Wanda, and Denzel Crocker, and that is it. I did not even like Vicky. She was farting. She was like, what the fuck was going on in this show? What was happening here? I don't know. And let's read a couple more here. Again, Moxie twice says they should have kept it animated also. Yeah, so Crocker in the finale was the only good thing. So people really like Crocker. People really think it should have been animated. And Kevin McAllister comes back and says it's really bad. It's just really bad. Thumbs down. He gives it the official thumbs down emoji. So people do not like this one. Not at all. Again, I'm not allowed to vote in here, by the way. It doesn't let me vote because I'm like the owner of the poll. But if I could vote, I definitely would have put this in the bad category. So let's get into the characters and talk about the show. We're going to we need to talk about Timmy. That's a great place to start. Okay, so where does this show begin? So again, spoilers. If you don't want this show, there's not much happening in this show. Let's be real. There's not. If you don't want spoilers, get out of here right now and come back later when you're finished the show. I binge watched all the episodes in 2 different sittings. I think the episodes are about 20-ish minutes each. So you're gonna have 12, 13 episodes? I think it's 12 episodes, right? You're gonna have a solid I don't know, 3 hours maybe. It's basically like a really long movie, like Avengers Endgame or something, right? You're gonna have to sit down and just watch this, and it's gonna be hard to get. If you're not a fan of the original Fairly OddParents, my God, is this thing gonna be hard to get through, folks? So let's get into it. So we're starting with Timmy. Now that I have a picture of Timmy Turner pulled up, so let's talk about Timmy. We discussed this in my live stream. At the time, I believe Timmy Turner was around 10 years old when he first gets his Fairly Godparents. In this show, this is a sequel series to the original. Timmy Turner is now 18 years old, and he is going off to college. Actually, he's probably 19 years old, because now that I think about it, when's Timmy's birthday? Hold on, let's find out. Timmy Turner's birthday. March 20th. So Timmy Turner would be about, so this show takes place in September, and we know this. We know it takes place in September. Timmy's birthday is March 21st, 1992. Wait a minute. So he's old. Wait, I was born in 93. So Timmy Turner is 30? Okay. I did not know this. But yeah, wow, pretty wild. Let's go back here. So we know that Timmy is 18 minimum. Minimum, he's 18 because he's going off to college. To be able to go off to college, you would have to have finished high school, which means you're 18. But the episode takes place right when these kids are starting school. School in North America usually almost always starts in September, which means that Timmy, if his birthday is in March, Timmy is 19 years old. This means that Timmy, for 9 years, he's had his Fairly Godparents, minimum. It could be more. It could be, I don't think it's less. I think it's got to be more than 9 years that Timmy has known his Fairly Godparents. We also don't know what happened to Poof. Maybe Poof is still in school. We never get to see Poof. No Sparky mentions. Again, this is a sequel series, so if you're a fan of the original, we don't know what happened to like anybody. No anti-fairies. No, we don't get anything about the anti-fairies. Nothing here. No pixies. None of the pixies. I'm trying to think of someone like Timmy Turner's like villains. Darth Laser, is he going to appear in this show? I don't know. And again, it takes place in Dimsdale. It does take place in Dimsdale. So we have a large cluster of just nonsense in this film. But let me get back on track. Timmy Turner, 9 years with his Fairy Godparents. What's the first thing he does in the show? What do you think it is? He says, screw this shit. I'm going to college. And he abandons his Fairy Godparents, forces Jorgen von Strangle. He literally waited till Jorgen von Strangle was playing video games, some kind of stupid unicorn game Jorgen was playing, and he forces him to sign over his fairies to his cousins. Now, this might be a secret look. Maybe Timmy is a big brain genius. Maybe Butch Hartman or whoever the shit is writing this show, maybe they're a super genius that nobody can understand at this point. And maybe there's going to be a big plot twist here that Timmy Turner secretly forced Jorgen von Strangle to give his fairies to his cousins so that he would never lose his memory of them. That would be very interesting. But again, do you think the writers are smart enough to pull this shit? I don't think so. I do not a chance. After watching this show, not a fucking frozen chance in hell. No way does the writer think that far ahead or would be that inconspicuous, okay? So Timmy Turner, what a dick. He says, bye, Cosmo and Wanda. I'm just going to college. That's it. We're done. And he signs over his Fairy Godparents to, again, it's established there's a fairy shortage in season 10. They just ignored everything. The lore of the show, the rules. They break the rules in that. They literally wish for love. One of the rules was that you couldn't, they have the book. Let me show you the book. Da rules. One of the rules which is a very iconic book from, like if you see this book, like people could, if you're a fan, if you grew up in the 90s, okay, if you grew up in the 90s, the early 2000s, you probably recognize this book. If it was put in front of you, you'd be like, that's from the Fairly OddParents. What do? They completely ignore it. We're going to talk about that episode. That's a very creepy episode, what happened there. But they literally wish for love, which is weird because in another episode they mention that you can't wish for love, and then they do it anyway. So they just break the rules. They don't give a shit. The writers have lost all traction here. There's no more fairy shortage. We don't even get an explanation. Why did the fairy shortage conclude? Why? It's like, what the hell? Apparently, there's so many fairies that they can just transfer goddamn Cosmo and Wanda to Vivian Turner, and I guess Roy just kind of happens to be there, and he gets them too. Jorgen von Strangle says that originally Timmy Turner tried to give them to Vivian, but then Jorgen von Strangle said it'd be funny if she had to share her fairies with Roy. Okay, so now they have a gimmick here in this show, and I do like that. This is one of the only good things about the show. So the only good things, the wish, each godchild has to make one wish, and then they pass it off to the next one. So if they can't make a wish until the next person makes the wish. So it kind of adds some balance, because in the original show, they would always come up with some bullshit, convoluted excuse why Cosmo and Wanda couldn't undo a wish, or like there would be a spontaneous tidal wave and their wands would get washed into the water, and then they have to go find them while Timmy's dealing with the wish. There was a bunch of nonsense. Like almost every episode had some nonsense in it like that. So to sort of, I do like that they kind of fix the issue here by saying, oh, instead of Cosmo and Wanda, and it still does happen where they lose their wands or whatever. But this show definitely handled the whole, you can only, we're not going to make up an excuse why Cosmo and Wanda can't undo this wish. We can just say, oh, it's not your turn to wish, right? So Roy would be like, oh, I don't want to undo the wish, So I did like this dynamic. Why the hell didn't they do this in season 10 with Chloe and Timmy? It would have been a lot better and a lot more interesting, I think, if they had done this. But they chose not to. And so season 10 will remain one of the worst Fairly OddParents seasons of all time, possibly even the absolute worst in some people's opinions. And really bad season. And now we're carrying over season 10's awfulness into the new show. So let's go here. Let's go back to talking about the characters, I guess, right? So Timmy Turner abandons his Fairly Godparents. And again, I don't like this because Timmy, one of the reasons Timmy gets his fairies is that he's miserable, right? So a miserable child was denied their fairies because Timmy Turner just kind of like cheated. He kind of just cheated. He forced Jorgen von Strangle to sign this contract, this special contract. And so Vivian, honest to God, isn't even that depressed. Timmy Turner, his parents are always going out and leaving him behind with this god-awful babysitter. He gets bullied by Francis. His friends are also just Timmy, Chester, and AJ are good, but like they're kind of nerdy, and like they're also geeks, right? Like they kind of get bullied all together, so they're not like good friends to Timmy. Like they don't come to Timmy's defense. I like, is there an episode where like Chester and AJ like defend Timmy from Francis? Like I don't even know, right? I don't think so. I can't even think of one off the top of my head. But so Timmy just has a miserable life, and you look at Vivian Turner. She comes from like an old, what was it? Old Town? I don't remember. Oldsburg. That's what it was. Yeah. Oldsburg. So Oldsburg is the town where she comes from. And in Oldsburg, they're kind of like an old like they teach them about like all books, right? They don't talk about phones and whatever. So Vivian is an outcast because she grew up in Oldsburg, where she learned about like books and poetry and like all this old, like I don't know, needlepoint and sewing and shit. So she's like this very old school kind of character. But meanwhile, her brother, which is this character here, Roy. Roy is a so by the way, this is Vivian Turner here. You can see here Vivian. So she's this old, like, unpopular character. Meanwhile, we have a kind of a good juxtaposition here where this guy, Roy Raskin, Tyler, whatever, this guy, Tyler, he is a very popular character, right? Very, very popular. And, he even has, like, a group of guys called the Roy's Boys. Those characters grew on me. When I first saw them, I didn't like them, but they kind of, towards the end, you find out like they were secretly all foster brothers, and they kind of the Roy's Boys secretly grew on me as the show went on. I liked the plot twist that they were kind of like like I said, they're foster brothers, and we know they're or I'm assuming they're foster brothers because 3 of them are white and they have different hair colors, and then one of them is black. So it could be that there might be multiple mothers or fathers there, or they could be They said they were brothers though. They never said they were stepbrothers. So I think they were just foster kids. I think they were just like, they were adopted, right? Like I think all those kids might have been adopted, which could be cool. I hope they explore the Roy boys further in the next season. And that's what, like, Vivian's life is not terrible. Those kids, the Roy's boys could have used the frickin' Roy's boys could have used Cosmo and Wanda more than Vivian and Roy. Roy is incredibly popular. He doesn't need fairies. This is a popular kid. He doesn't need fairies. And then you got Vivian, who on the first day of school, like even regardless of the Fairly Godparents, she already makes a friend. And the friend is named Xena Zacharias. And I thought this was the worst character in the entire show. Oh my God. There's no picture for her, but let's type in Xena and see if she comes up. Fairly OddParents, Xena. Yeah. Oh God. So this is Xena. And she, in my opinion, now you guys can fight me in the comments on this one. I think Xena is the worst, single-handedly the worst character on this entire show. Just terrible. Like, she is obnoxious. She is annoying. I can't stand her. I can't stand Xena. I really wish I literally wish that Cosmo and Wanda would wish her off of the show, just poof her away on the moon and let her, okay, that's a bit extreme, but, poof her away somewhere far, far away, send her to college with Timmy, why don't you, and just get her off of this show. Oh God, she's a Roy simp. Every scene, she's literally Tootie. Okay, in the original Fairly OddParents, there was a character named Tootie. I'll show you guys an image. Why not? If you've never seen Tootie, maybe you forgot who Tootie is. This is Tootie. There's Tootie, and she's a simp. You can literally see somebody made a fan art that has "I Heart Timmy" right on it. So now I always like this character because Vicky is just an evil, evil girl. Vicky is just a nasty, disgusting babysitter. Meanwhile, Tootie, she gets the abuse that Timmy gets, right? And I do like these fan arts. Wow, I like that they show like the aged up versions of like Tootie and I like these. Some of these fan arts are really cool. They kind of look like Total Drama Island characters for some reason. But yeah, tell me this doesn't look like a Total Drama Island character. Okay. Anyway, so Tootie, she was and that's another. What the hell happened to Tootie? We don't get to know what happened to Tootie. But Vicky's in the show. Maybe they'll focus on Tootie in the next series. I don't know. In the next season, assuming this train wreck gets rebooted for season 2, renewed. I meant, not rebooted. We don't need another reboot. Oh Lord. Imagine if they did a 10-year time skip. Lord almighty. Yeah, so Tootie and this what was her name? Xena? Xena, right? Yeah, Xena. So Xena is the Tootie of this show, but she's awful. She's just awful. Like, at least with Tootie, you feel sympathy for her because you see how badly her sister treats her. You kind of understand that, like, whenever she sees Timmy Turner, it's like, oh my God, somebody that I like that isn't like my sister. She has an attraction, and you kind of just feel bad for Tootie, right? This show, Xena is just an unlikable, like, god-awful character that just can't stop simping over Roy. She apparently has, like, god-tier nose. Like, she's like, sniff, sniff. Oh, I could smell Roy is in danger miles away. And the bad acting, and oh my God, they're all terrible. They're all bad. Crocker was the cream of the crop. He's the only, like, good one here. Cosmo and Wanda, again, Cosmo and Wanda are the high point of the show with Crocker. All of the other I think Vivian's acting was actually pretty decent, but these two, the parents, oh God, we'll get to them. We will get to them. For the most part, these two are pretty good. They're like Roy. There's really some scenes where he's just really obnoxious, and they're doing flossing and all these stupid memes for the younger generation. I just couldn't give a shit. I thought Roy was just like, okay. He wasn't like the worst ever. I've definitely seen worse characters. Case in point, Xena. Just really can't stand Xena. Oh my God. Please write her off the show. And if this show does get a season 2, I really hope that they explore some of these, like, like, what happened to the fairy shortage? Why don't we get why don't they resolve that? Where's all the anti-fairies? Like, where's, like, the holiday characters? I don't know, like the freaking Tooth Fairy or something. This show, they really just didn't want to do animation. They really didn't. There's, like, Cosmo and Wanda are there, but very rarely do they, like, we ever get to see other fairies, or, like, they do appear. I am going to talk about one of the fairies a bit later, but actually maybe I'll talk about it now. What was that character? Hold on. Where did I put that? Let's see if I have the tab still. Is it this one? No. Hold on. Let's type in Cosmo Wikipedia. Let's see if that comes up. Cosmo Fairly Odd Parents. Let's see if that comes up there. Cosmo, the Fairly Odd Parent wiki. So Cosmo, this is a brand new revelation. We'll talk about this right now. Cosmo has a brand new, never before introduced ex-girlfriend, which was a one-sided crush, I believe, on her side. Yeah, Brandy Lynn really liked. So this is Brandy. See, we needed more of this. This is what we needed in the show. We needed more fairies and just more of this. Who is this? It's a new character. This is what I wanted to see. I wanted them to expand the lore of the Fairly OddParents. They actually kind of did it in this episode, but it was just a really bad episode. Roy becomes a puppet, and then there's this weird Italian guy, and he wants to put Roy in the wood chipper, and it's just a whole fucking mess. Oh my God. The episode is, what was the name of that? Roy Nokio. Oh my God. That was the name of the episode, in case you're wondering. Oh, Lord almighty. Roy Nokio. So she appears. She doesn't really do much, and she's really weird. She apparently is a fairy godparent that specializes in what was it? She specializes in undoing puppet-based wishes, which is just really bizarre. Like, what the hell? I don't know, man. Now, I mean, we've seen this before. Now, to be fair, Wanda. Wanda's own father is named Big Daddy. You guys might remember this. Big Daddy from the original. Big Daddy. He specifically comes out usually. Oh, wait. Big Daddy, FOP. This is Wanda. Yeah, Big Daddy. This is one of my favorite characters from the original show, by the way. So Big Daddy. Big Wanda, yeah. That was a good one. But Big Daddy I almost forgot about the stupid unicorn head. Oh my God. That was a real man. I really like Big Daddy. They need to bring Big Daddy back. They need to get whoever the voice actor, get him in there, get him into this show, folks. But Big Daddy specialized in garbage-related wishes. You might not remember that. Yeah, you can see him here with a trash can. He absolutely specializes in, and there he is in his trash uniform, or his garbage man uniform. This character specializes in garbage-related wishes. Now that I think of it, now that I see these was there ever an anti-Big Daddy who like wanted to pollute the world, or like what's the opposite of a trash man? Like a destroyer? That would be cool. I want to see Big Daddy's like anti-fairy. That'd be really cool. Maybe he's just not intimidating, right? Because yeah, Big Daddy's a very intimidating guy, so maybe his anti-fairy would be very weak, kind of like Jorgen. Jorgen's anti-fairy is very weak and tiny. Jorgen anti-fairy. Anti-Jorgen, I should have taken. Yeah, anti-Jorgen is a weak, unmasculine, what's the big, is there such a thing as anti-Big Daddy? Let me type that in. Anti-Big Daddy. There's no such thing, right? Okay, so people came up with some fan art. Okay. I see it. I think that would be a great episode that this show could do. Just, also Mama Cosma. Did we ever see an anti-Mama Cosma? I don't know. But I genuinely, I would really like to see Big Daddy, if not an anti-Big Daddy character, appear, for sure. But getting back on track, Brandy Lynn, I like the design of this character, but why is she purple? I don't understand. Maybe she's just wearing makeup, maybe. But have we ever seen like we've seen black fairy godparents. We've seen I think there's Asian one. Wandissimo is Spanish. Is this character supposed to be like a you know how like people in the Arctic have, or like, I don't know, some people have like really pale skin. Albino, that's what, yeah. Why did I go to Arctic? I don't know. Albino, maybe she's like an albino where she has like really, really pasty skin. But she kind of like, honestly just looks like she's purple. And I was wondering why the hell there's a purple fairy. Like what's the lore? Why is this, why are none of the other fairies like colored weirdly? So yeah, again, maybe she's just an albino. Who knows? They did mention that she's very bizarre and weird, but we don't get to say she wasn't on screen for very long. Brandy Lynn is a minor character in the first season of the Fairly OddParents. She just didn't appear very often. They didn't even add to the wiki what happens in this episode. She's just a really weird character that specializes in undoing wishes that relate to puppetry and like that kind of like transformations into weird things. Just a bizarre character. It's mentioned that Wanda really doesn't like her because she's jealous. Like, she's apparently an ex-girlfriend that like was really infatuated with Cosmo, but Cosmo just didn't have feelings towards her. I like the storyline. Why wasn't this in the original Fairly OddParents? That's my question. But, this definitely would have come up in like one of the episodes with Cupid or something, right? They're just breaking the rules. They're breaking the rules out here, and they aren't following the story of the original Fairly OddParents. This should not have been a sequel at all. They should have just made this without Cosmo. They should have just made new Fairly OddParents and just said, this is in another universe. This is a mistake. This is just such a mistake. Wow. So let's go back to the main characters. Let's talk about the parents. Good God. Vicky, I guess we could talk. No. Let's talk about the episode order. Fairly Odd. Let's talk. We got to talk about this because this is, Fairly Odd, not Xena, Fairly Odder episode. So the episodes are actually out of order, weirdly enough. They aired them out of order. Yeah. Very bizarre. Let's see here. Episodes. Okay. So here we go. The forbidden phrase. Oh, wait. Did they add them in the right order? Roy and Vivi turn the people of Earth into mindless dancers. No. So yeah, it happened. Okay. I don't understand what happened, but I believe the fourth episode, they did something. They screwed the order up here. The fourth episode was supposed to be the second episode, I believe. It's really weird because you watch these episodes and they go to school and stuff. And then all of a sudden it's like they're back, or was it the sixth episode? It might have been the sixth episode. Wait a minute. This one, the most popular. Yeah. The sixth episode and okay, wait. Was it this one? Flashback episode. Oh, is that how they're calling it? It's a flashback. Viv struggles to fit in on her first day of school. Yeah, this is really weird. I noticed that it says flashback episode. I don't remember a flashback like occurring here. I feel like they had to put this in later because they aired the episodes wrong. This just feels like they aired the episodes wrong and they're trying to save face. I don't know. Episode chronology. I just don't understand. This should have been the second episode. The sixth episode was supposed to be the second episode, but it seems they screwed something up. And again, it says flashback episode, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like this should have been the second episode. So that's a huge criticism there. It just feels like something went wrong here, and they randomly. It feels like they filmed like this episode, and then they're like, no, let's put this as the second. I don't know what happened. Something went wrong behind the scenes in this show, because it just feels out of order. Because we get introduced to Vicky here, like they just know who Vicky is in this episode. And again, it did say flash, but why does it say that though? I don't remember it being a quote unquote flashback episode. Yeah, why does it say that? Is there trivia here? I kind of want to see like what the hell happened. Trivia. The original name for this episode was The Throne. This marks the first episode to have or be a flashback, but it's not very clear. It wasn't very clear. Also, they break the fourth wall. I did notice that. Yeah, this marks the first episode where a main character interacts with the audience. They did break the fourth wall a couple times. There's a time scooter episode where you guys remember Timmy's like time scooter. And they have to say this stupid phrase. What was the phrase? Oh my God. Hold on. Fairly Odder time scooter. Jesus. They say this stupid phrase, the time scooter. Yeah. It comes back. So it was really great in the original Fairly OddParents, but then they have to say this like weird time. Okay, I'll go back in a sec. Let me just finish talking about this. So yeah, this episode was weird. It's a flashback. It's not very clear. And they do break the fourth wall. So like I was saying, in that episode where they go back in time, they say that they say something along the lines of like, we're not going to be time traveling again. And then they turn towards the audience and they're like, at least not in this season, which kind of like implies that they're trying to get another season where there's another time travel related episode. It was very cheesy, like the acting on this show, which is really horrible. But let's go to that time. Where is that time episode? I don't even know. Back to the school, whatever the hell this was. Back to the scooter. Yeah, they have to say a really stupid like, it's so dumb. What was the phrase? I'm like, oh my God, this is the this thing. Where is it? What do they have? It was like, hold on. Control F, come. Hold on. How do they had to say like a special like phrase. Oh my God. I can't remember. It was what the hell was it? When Ty and Rachel refused time scooter. Yeah, you guys know in the comments. They had to say the dumbest phrase. They had to say something with the word like come in it. They had like scooty cummy wummy. They had to say some dumb ass phrase to get back. Anytime they want to summon the scooter, it's just absolutely nonsense. I can't seem to find what the magic phrase was to scooty cummy scooty. Like, they had to say the dumbest shit. You guys let me know what it was. I can't remember. But my God. So let's talk about the parents, I guess. Let's go here. Let's just have a discussion about them. These two are okay, Vicky, actually, should I just go in order? Vicky is, I didn't like her. How the hell did one of the most abusive and evil characters managed to become a teacher. How the hell does that happen? I mean, I guess you could argue that she had experience, like, you know, on her resume, like, oh, I've taught children, I've babysat children, so I'm experienced with kids. She's a teacher. She's a horrible teacher. She's just a really bad teacher, and what did they do to this character? Vicky is out here farting nonstop. She does it like 4 episodes. It's just terrible. She's farting. They have this weird like relationship where she's in love with Crocker. What is it with the show and simping over people? They have Vicky simping all over Denzel Crocker, who is older in the show. You know, Denzel is actually older in the show. It is, again, Timmy Turner. This is like 9 years after the original show, or like 8 years. I don't know how many years. But Timmy is now 19, so like maybe like basically around a decade later. So we do see Crocker with like gray hair. Fairly Odder. Let's look at Crocker, right? So this is Crocker now. Crocker has like gray. Okay, hold on. Why did I type in Cracker? Crocker. Here we go. Yeah, so this is that is I did like this image. This is kind of creepy. The new Crocker, and they made him face forward, which did we ever get this before? Did Denzel Crocker ever do a front face shot? Yeah, kind of creepy. I do. That's cool. The ears are on his neck. Yeah, they mentioned that. I remember there were episodes like Norm the genie would be like, why are your ears on your neck? I do remember episodes mentioning and making fun of Crocker for having his ears on his neck. But that's pretty. Wow, I like this shot. This is again, Crocker was one of the best things. And by the way, they had the original voice actor right here. This is him. This is the guy. What's this guy's name? I don't know. Let me see here. What is Crocker's actual name? The voice actor. What is it? Come on, give me the name. Who is it? Actor Carlos Alarazuki or something. I don't know how to pronounce that. So this Carlos fellow here, he does a fantastic job. He is the original it said it right here. I should have just read that. His voice actor from the original series. This is the original Denzel Crocker, and he does a great job. So yeah, guys, 2 thumbs up for Denzel Crocker. Really, really enjoyed the performance from this character. Carlos here did a really great job. But let's talk about 2 characters that didn't do a good job, and that's the parents of Vivian and Roy Turner. What are their names? Ty Turner and Rachel Raskin. The worst, except for, what was her name again? Xena. Yeah, these 3 characters, Xena, Ty, and Rachel, are just awful. Oh my dear God. They're just terrible. They're the worst parents. I don't know what they were thinking. It was like, okay, so they are they are in the entertainment industry. They're dancers. You know, they have their own like dance like studio or whatever. They are in the entertainment industry, but it's just terrible, folks. It's just like, oh my God, I can't believe they made these into real characters. The acting is unbelievably bad from these characters, just over the top, a million times over. I truly could not believe they actually made these into parents. These characters are dumb as rocks. They're just very agreeable anytime. Now, okay, again, this is the Fairly OddParents we've seen with Timmy Turner. His dad is very stupid. His mom, honestly, is very stupid also, but like, I feel like the mom at least sometimes caught on to like Timmy's shenanigans. These characters were just like utterly dumb as rocks. And they would straight up be like, oh yes, I find this agreeable. And they say it in such a manner where it's like, you're sick of it. You're like, ugh, real people don't talk like this. You know what I mean? Like when you watch Timmy Turner's dad and mom, they don't sound like they're fake. These characters literally sound like they're just like they're in a drama theater. Like, oh my God, it's just terrible. it's like it feels like they're in a high school drama club and everything they say is just obnoxious and annoying and just hard to listen to because it's like Vivian will be like, "Hey dad," and he'll be like, "Hi, Vivian, I'm your father, Ty Turner. That is totally my name." And that's how they talk the entire time. It was so hard to get through. Oh my dear God. How did they cast this so incorrectly? How did they do this? How did they mess up this badly? My God, folks, just my God. I couldn't stand them. I really dislike the episode where this character plays herself as the grandma. She like, instead of hiring a grandmother character, they're like, no, let's put some makeup on, and it's the same character, and she's really bad, and she's in the episode the entire time. She's the grandma that's awful and can't act, and then she's the mother character that can't act. Luckily, they don't have too much interaction. At the same time, they do meet up at the end of the episode. That was a bad episode, by the way. I thought that was just a really, really awful episode. I remembered what it was. Scooty, come. Yeah. So anytime they want to summon the magical time scooter, they have to say Scooty, come. And speaking of that episode, by the way, it is revealed that Roy's dad is gay. He mentions that, like, what was it, sushi rolls, or like, Vivian asks Roy, "Whatever happened to your dad?" And he says something along the lines of, he owns a shop making like sushi or like I don't know, pastries with his husband. So again, why are we putting this in the kids' shows? I don't know. It's Nickelodeon. They've gone utterly woke up the ass. So at least thank God we didn't have to spend an entire episode finding out about Roy's gay father. So they spared us they spared us an entire episode of like wokeness. So that's great. Oh, but this show might get a season 2. I think the ratings for this show were really high, even though, again, they gave it a 3 out of 10 here. That's my exact rating. I also give it a 3 out of 10. I really think it was that bad, folks. And it's just, there's so much to say, and it's just all awful. And I'm looking at this, and we're at like freaking like almost an hour. This video is almost an hour, and there's still more to talk about. It's just, the episodes were just bad. I think my favorite episode was just episode 2. Like, can we go back to the episodes? Where's the episode list here? I guess maybe if I hit back here. Yeah, here we go. So the first episode, just again, awful. Timmy gives away his Fairly OddParents. The forbidden phrase. So this one was sort of okay, but like, it's not the same. I do like that they keep doing the trend where, like, back in the Fairly OddParents, they would have like celebrity knockoffs. Like Britney Spears was a character named Brittany. Do you guys like Brittany? Brittany. Like, right. So they wasn't she voiced by Britney Spears also? Yeah. So like, I can't remember if she was actually voiced by Britney Spears, but Brittany was supposed to be like a parody, and then it's like, Chip Skylark was. Who was Chip Skylark a parody of? Like one of the Backstreet Boys or NSYNC or something. Yeah, I think it was NSYNC, right? Yeah. So like they had a bunch of like half knockoff celebrities, you know what I mean? And so they do keep that trend. They have these like live actions, like knockoff celebrity characters for that second episode. Where was that again? The Forbidden Phrase. So yeah, they actually they make this like monkey song where it's like monkey. And I thought that was actually, it really gets stuck in your head after a while, I gotta say. And that was the whole point of the episode. They make a catchy song that you'll never forget. So yeah, that in my opinion was like one of the better episodes, and even that was like just like a subpar compared to the early episodes of Fairly OddParents. Just really bad. Again, this episode is randomly a flashback for no reason, and we don't really get a whole It's so weird. It's like when it's not the cartoons, right? Like this episode is like it feels serialized. Where like every episode, it feels like events are happening. You know what I mean? Like it feels like we get introduced to like a new character, and now we know about them. And then to have a random flashback episode, like they could get away with that on the Fairly OddParents or SpongeBob. It's a cartoon. Every time you watch an episode, you don't know what's going to happen in that episode. It could just be about anything, right? This was just weird. It was weird to have a random flashback episode for episode 6. I also thought this was one of the better ones. Where, again, the parents, just the god awful over the top acting. Where is my wife? He's like, where is my wife that I love? And why am I suddenly attracted to this statue? It just sounds so like Frankensteinian, where it feels like they're being forced to say their life. It's just awful. The acting of the mom and dad just really bad. Vicky, I think her acting wasn't the worst, but like, they made her into this weird, like, evil farting character, and she's simping over Crocker, which just feels really weird. And, like, what's the age gap between Crocker and Vicky? Like, 20 years, 10 years? I don't know. How old is Vicky? I don't know, but again, really weird. Did that ever happen in the Fairly OddParents where, like, Vicky had, like, a hardcore crush on Crocker? I don't know, but, let's see, what other episodes? Cheater, Cookie Eater. Oh, that was the one where they buy all the cookies. That episode was interesting. We get introduced to the sort of Trixie Tang, where she's the popular kid, and she was just really bad. I honestly thought this was like, when you look at Trixie, she has the sort of Veronica backup. There's like a lot of these characters that like think she's cool. Like Chester and AJ are like affirming it, being like, oh, we don't stand a chance. Or like they would tell Timmy like, oh, you don't stand a chance trying to get Trixie Tang. You know what I mean? Whereas in this character, it's like a random Indian girl or something, or like, I don't even know what ethnicity the popular girl was, but she just she didn't feel very popular. Like none of they just had her in a throne, and they're like, oh yeah, anything this character says goes. But it was weird because this episode, the cookie episode, airs before the episode that we're introduced to the popular girl. So when we see the cookie episode, we don't know she's popular, and she doesn't feel popular. They just completely butchered that. Like, even the order of the episodes. Why? Like, what the hell were they thinking? I don't know. So the popular character doesn't even feel popular. Just silly nonsense. Speaking of there is a character that I actually like that they add. I can't remember, her name is like Mrs. Stoneface or something, and she's a reporter. And she's like, this is nonsense, just utter nonsense. And she's like Russian or something. I don't know. That's a good character. That was one of the better characters for sure. I almost forgot to talk about there. For some strange reason, the mayor of Dimsdale is a baby with a black guy as a translator. I don't know what the hell's going on there. And it's not even a real baby. It's just a doll. So I guess they're trying to be funny, I guess. I don't know. Maybe maybe a kid would think that was like, this is aimed at children. I get it. But like, I don't know, man. I don't know about this one. We don't get, so, and again, I keep going back to it, but this is a sequel to Fairly OddParents. We don't get many references to people like Doug Dimmadome. They did make a joke about Roy says my shiny teeth and me or something. A nice little callback to Chip. Was it Chip Skylar or yeah, my shiny teeth that twinkle. Yeah, really good, Chip Skylar. That character doesn't appear, by the way, but again, I did say in the second episode they have a council of like famous celebrity singers, and they do appear. There's like there's a character that's supposed to be like a knockoff of like either Justin Bieber or Justin Timberlake. I don't know which one I'm assuming it's Justin Bieber, but yeah. So they do have a parody of that. There's a couple of adult jokes that was pretty good. I do appreciate an adult joke in a kid's show. What the finale, the main characters die kinda, and they go to like limbo, and that was really weird. I don't know what the hell they were thinking with that episode. I'm trying to think of some of the other things. The hypnotism was just stupid. Apparently Mr. Crocker can just he invented hypnotism and he doesn't use it for his own gain. He could literally hypnotize anybody in the world using these just basic level like devices that he puts on their heads. It's actually one of those head scratch. You guys ever see those like head scratcher things? It's just absolutely silly nonsense. If you this is the grandma episode. That one was really, really bad. This is, oh god, Roy Nokio. Yeah, really weird episode here. Codzillard. This is an episode. See, you know how when I checked the polls earlier and everybody was saying this show should have been animated? Literally in this episode, so Vivian wishes to, like, her old friend could come back and visit her, and again, terribly structured episode. Vivian never comes off as a character that like needs fairy godparents. Like, she in the first episode, it made it seem like, oh, she's just so unpopular. She has no friends. She's an outcast. This episode, her old best friend, she just throws her under the bus, says that she's garbage. Like, what is this show? I don't know. It's just really, really silly. But in this episode, the Xena character, right? She ends up growing into a massive size to fight Godzilla, which is apparently like Codzillard. Apparently, it's a giant fish creature, and the animation, again, the budget for this show sometimes just terrible. She's just fighting this god awful dude in a fish costume. It's just terrible. Like this episode, if it was animated, this could have been a good episode, right? We could have seen like there were episodes in Fairly Godparents where they destroy the town or whatever. You know what I mean? This could have been a great episode where like there genuinely is a giant fish creature on the loose, and Timmy has to find a way so it doesn't destroy the entire city or endanger the lives. This episode, it's just like, oh, we'll just wish Xena is a giant. Nobody in Dimsdale, nobody in the world who's getting like streaming footage of this, nobody's questioning why Codzillard is real and is in the. They just don't care. The writers don't care. The main characters don't care. Nobody in this world. Denzel Crocker is the only character that cares about anything in this show, and he ends up in prison at the end. And I do kind of like it. He's like, I vow to get out of this prison. Yeah, so that, I'm interested to see where they take Crocker, but like the plot of this show just feels everywhere until the last two episodes. It's like these are all just filler episodes. You could skip like half of these. And it's just terrible. They're all like, most of the characters are terrible, save for Cosmo, Wanda, and Crocker. And any other things that I want to add in. This is just a very long video. I'm trying to think. Anything I missed? Yeah, again, I keep going back to it. We don't get to see Trixie. We don't get to see all the old characters. You don't get to see them except for us, like 5 or 6 of them. And, Vicky is definitely a main character. Even though we don't see Tootie, we don't see Vicky's parents, I guess. I guess that makes sense. She would probably be moved out by then. But yeah, any other characters I missed? Doug Dimmadome isn't in there. Any other side characters? Oh, that's right. The character. Yeah. That was really weird. Which one? The show off. Is that the one? Yeah. This is the worst episode of the entire. I almost forgot to mention this. This episode is okay. So it was established multiple times that you can't wish for love. In this episode, we do see the main character wishing for love. She basically forces a black guy to kiss her, again, which is against the rules. But now, some people could argue that maybe the black guy had feelings towards her. But he never says he does. I don't, he kind of just agree, she goes up to him and has a small chat with him, and they're agreeable with each other, but they don't like show that they have a crush. One of Roy's boys, again, the Roy's boys grew on me. I didn't like them in the first couple episodes because all they do is they go, they're basically like Tad, Chad, and Oh, Remy. Oh my God. Remy Boxaplenty as a kid. That is another awful character. Why is that guy even in there? Oh my God. That was just another bad character. Remy Boxaplenty has a son, and he's super rich, and he's just awful. Like, his acting is just really bad. He does a voice like, "Hello, old chums. My name is whatever Boxaplenty, and I am very rich." He just does this really bad voice. It's not a good voice. So that character was really bad also. Every character in this show is bad. But yeah, in this episode was just a train wreck dumpster fire. It's like they both wish to be in their favorite shows or whatever. They both wish that their favorite shows would come to Dimsdale. So half the town is this like old, like, you know, I don't know, drama opera type of thing, you know, like soap opera is what I should say, actually. One of them's like a weird soap opera. The other one is like an action, gritty, like superhero show. And you can see here Roy has like an eye patch, and he's all like, you know, he has a laser gun or whatever, and he's taped to the I don't even know what he's taped to, a rocket. I don't know what he's taped to there, but yeah, Roy, you can see, he's pretty gritty. This is the episode where it happens, like I said, literally wishing for the black guy to kiss her or be like to have affection or to want to marry her. And it's just weird. It's just weird. And like I was saying, one of Roy's boys, later on in the grandma episode, actually confesses that, you know, he wants to take Vivian Turner to the dance, and she just completely ignores her. I didn't, you know, it would have been interesting if she like at least agreed to take him to the dance. That was kind of, you know, kind of rude. We do see that like Timmy in the original series, you know, Veronica said that she had she had a crush on Timmy, and says that like her love for Timmy burns like the intensity of 1,000 suns. We also see Tootie like confess, you know, and you know, Timmy Turner never really agrees to go on dates or whatever with this. But here we see that she likes a black guy so much she'll literally make spells to try and get hit. Like she literally wishes for basically to try and get a kiss from this black guy, which is should be against the rules, right? It should happen naturally. But then again, at the end of the episode, Roy himself, because Roy felt guilty, literally wishes a second time. They break the rules 2 times in one episode to try and get this black guy to kiss Vivian, which it was such a weird episode, man. Just so weird. Why the hell would they go for that? I don't know. It's just bizarre. The entire show is bizarre. I feel like I've gone on. This is a long video. My God. I have to end it here, folks. I feel like nobody's going to watch through this long, but this is just a rant. I don't know. I feel like I'm in rant mode. I could go for another 2 hours. I'm not going to go for another 2 hours. Don't worry. We're ending it right now. But goddamn, let me know all your thoughts. You know, most people are giving this low scores. Some audiences, you know, I did see Fairly Odd. Again, some people gave it a 3 out of 10. Fairly Odd reviews. Rotten Tomato, are the Rotten Tomato things up yet? I wonder. 74 audiences up. See, the kids seem to really like this, so I do think it's going to get another season. I bet you when the critics score comes out. The critics didn't even bother rating this one. If the critic score ever comes out, it's going to be under like a 30 for sure. Yeah, here we go. 3. They gave it pretty good here. Parents say it's a 1 out of 10, but kids say it's a 5. Parents say it's a 1 star out of 5. Oh, there's only 2 reviews. Oh, that doesn't count. That's bullshit. Let's see. Any other ones here? Fairly OddParents TV show reviews. Metacritic. To be decided, awaiting 4 more reviews. You guys can add my review. It's a 3 out of 10. There you go, Metacritic. Add my review. 3 out of 10. Am I a critic? I don't know. Can anybody be a critic? I'm gonna be a critic. Yeah. It's not a great show. Any of the sites that did rate it. So here's IDMB seems to be the only rating. 313 people voted for here, and it got a 3.1 out of 10. I don't even give it a 3.1. I give it a 3 out of 10. Just a 3. That's what it deserves. If Cosmo and Wanda and Mr. Crocker were not in this show, it would have been unsolved. I might have just given it a 1 or a 2. It just would have been that bad. Like that bad. Holy mother of God. I have no idea what they were thinking with this one. I really hope we don't go down this road. I don't want to see Danny Phantom 10 years later come back as a live action with cartoons in it. God, please no. No Danny. I would love to see another Danny Phantom movie where it's cartoony and that kind of thing. No, please never do this live action hybrid bullshit again. I just don't want to see it. I don't want to see more of shit like this. It's going to be hard. If Nickelodeon if this is successful, it's going to be really hard for me to keep coming back and watching these. I really felt like I had a trouble watching this. Whereas like I can go back and watch Fairly OddParents episodes, and especially from the first couple of seasons, they're really, really good. They're really good. You can watch them as an adult and you'll be like, wow, these are pretty good. Same thing with SpongeBob. You can watch the first couple seasons, even some of the later seasons. It does get pretty, same thing with Fairly OddParents. It gets kind of bad. SpongeBob towards season 10 actually starts picking up again. I think season 10, 11, 12, they start making some decent episodes again. But whereas Fairly OddParents, it was a roller coaster that was going up, and then Poof was born, and then it kind of wobbled, and then Sparky is released, and it just crashed and fell off the rails. It's not good. 3 out of 10 final score. It's not good. And that's going to be it for me. Please let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and please watch an ad, folks. Watch an ad. Support the channel today. Not too many cartoon news channels out there. Not too many people doing reviews of cartoons, like long discussions here like this. This is an hour long. An hour and almost an hour and a half. Oh my God. So yeah, very long discussion here. You don't see it from many other YouTubers. Please watch an ad today. And, thank you very much, everyone. Peace out. Bye-bye. Hopefully you didn't get your eyes burned by this awful show. And hopefully Nickelodeon can do better. The end. Peace out. Bye-bye.